In this video, we're going to look at energy producers and consumers. So we're going to define what are primary producers, describe how consumers obtain energy and nutrients. So we use a couple terms to describe how living things get their energy: autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs capture energy from living sources and convert it into forms living things can use. Primary producers are a type of autotroph. They're the first producers of energy-rich compounds that can be used later by all other organisms. All life depends on primary producers. So one process used by most primary producers is to convert energy from the sun into chemical energy in the form of food. And this process is called photosynthesis. The process uses energy from the sun to convert carbon dioxide and water into carbohydrates and oxygen. We'll talk more about that process later in the year. Another way that autotrophs can create chemical energy is through chemiosmosis. The process uses chemical energy to produce carbohydrates. Basically takes inorganic chemicals and converts them into sugars. This is done primarily by bacteria that live around thermal vents in the ocean floor, hot springs, places like that. So we got two ways to get energy: through photosynthesis from light energy, or chemosynthesis from chemical energy. So consumers are the second group of organisms. They are heterotrophs, and they must get their energy from eating other things. So organisms that rely on other organisms for energy and nutrients are consumers or heterotrophs. So there are different kinds of consumers. Carnivores, like the otter here, are things that eat other animals or other consumers, more specifically. Herbivores are things that get their energy and materials by eating the primary producers. Oftentimes that's plants, but it could be algae, it could be the chemosynthetic bacteria. And omnivores get their energy by eating both producers and consumers. Scavengers are things that feed on dead, decaying matter. Decomposers and detrivores are related. Decomposers take dead matter from once living things or decaying things and convert it into smaller bits of dead and decaying things, which then the detrivores can feed on as well. And they're really important for recycling matter through the food chains and food webs. We'll talk more about that in the next unit.